Have you ever heard the saying, "Be careful what you wish for"? This is the story of Pastor Gideon, a man who once stood as a beacon of hope and faith but was consumed by ambition. His journey took him from the pulpit to the depths of darkness, from a beloved pastor to a man trapped by his own choices. What you are about to hear is not just a story but a warning, a chilling tale of greed, deception, and a dangerous pact with forces he could never control. Pastor Gideon wasn't always consumed by greed. He began as a humble man, walking through dusty village roads with nothing but a Bible and a burning desire to change lives. His sermons were passionate, his prayers powerful, and his faith unshakable. Or so it seemed. On Sunday mornings, his little church overflowed with people from near and far, singing hymns, clapping hands, and praising God under the open skies. Children ran barefoot around the churchyard, mothers swayed to the melodies of the choir, and fathers listened intently to Gideon's every word. For the people of the village, Pastor Gideon wasn't just a preacher, he was their guide, their protector, and their hope. But beneath the surface of this picture-perfect ministry lay a man battling insecurities and desires he kept hidden from everyone. You see, Gideon had dreams of building a larger church, dreams of having a life free of debt, dreams of becoming a preacher whose name would echo across the country. But dreams require resources, and the tithes from his congregation barely kept the church afloat. Month after month, he stared at a pile of unpaid bills, his heart sinking as he realized that prayers alone wouldn't make them disappear. Late at night, while the village slept, Gideon sat in his dimly lit office, flipping through the Bible for answers. "Lord, why won't you bless me like you blessed others?" he muttered under his breath. "Why must I struggle when all I want is to serve you?" But no answers came. The silence was deafening, and with every passing day, his desperation grew. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Gideon heard whispers of a man, a Sangoma, renowned for his ability to change destinies. His name was Mutiman. In the village, his name was spoken in hushed tones, with both fear and respect. Stories swirled about how Mutiman had helped men rise to wealth, fame, and power, but always at a cost. Gideon hesitated at first. A man of God seeking help from a Sangoma. The very thought was blasphemous, but desperation is a powerful force. One night, with his heart pounding and palms sweating, Gideon made his way into the forests where Mutiman was said to live. The path was treacherous, lit only by the pale light of the moon. Strange animal cries echoed through the trees, sending shivers down Gideon's spine. But he pressed on, driven by the voice in his head whispering, "This is your only chance." When he arrived at Mutiman's hut, the air was thick with an unearthly energy. Beads hung from the doorway, clinking softly as the wind blew through them. Inside, Mutiman sat cross-legged by a fire, his face partially obscured by shadows. He looked up, his piercing eyes meeting Gideon's. "You have come seeking power," Mutiman said, his voice calm yet unsettling. It wasn't a question, it was a statement. Gideon stammered, unsure how to respond. I just need help. My church. It's struggling. I need a miracle." Mutiman chuckled softly. "A miracle, is it? Tell me, Pastor, are you willing to pay the price for what you seek? The spirits do not give without taking." Mutiman reached into a pouch and pulled out a small amulet, its surface etched with strange symbols. He placed it in Gideon's trembling hands. "This amulet will bring you everything you desire. Wealth, influence, a church so grand that kings will bow before you. But you must honor the spirits who grant you this power. Wear the amulet, drink this potion, and perform the ritual I will teach you. Do this, and your dreams will come true." Gideon hesitated, but the thought of returning to his debts, his struggling congregation, was unbearable. He nodded, sealing his fate. That night, under the light of a full moon, Gideon performed the ritual. He chanted words he barely understood, clutched the amulet to his chest, and drank the potion that burned like fire down his throat. As the final chant left his lips, the air grew still. And then, a whisper, a voice so faint it was almost inaudible, said, "It is done." And just like that, Gideon's life transformed. His church became the talk of the town. People came from distant villages to hear his sermons, leaving behind offerings that overflowed the donation boxes. Gideon built a mansion, drove luxury cars, and became a celebrity pastor. To his congregation, he was a man of God, a miracle worker. But Gideon knew the truth. The amulet grew warmer with each passing day, a constant reminder of the pact he had made. His dreams were filled with shadows and whispers, demanding more offerings, more loyalty. And when the Spirit's demands grew beyond money, Gideon introduced strange practices into his church. Special prayers, unusual rituals, all masked as acts of faith. At first the congregation followed without question, but soon things began to unravel. A young woman in the choir fell mysteriously ill and died. Then a loyal deacon collapsed during a Sunday service. More deaths followed, each one more inexplicable than the last. Whispers spread through the congregation. Was this God's wrath? Or had Gideon brought a curse upon them? The deaths didn't stop with the church. Gideon's own family began to suffer. His brother fell ill, then his childhood friend, and finally his wife. Grief-stricken and terrified, Gideon returned to Mutiman, the amulet clutched in his hands. "Take it back," he begged. "I never wanted this. My family, my church, they're dying. Please undo it." Mutiman's face remained expressionless. "The spirits gave you what you asked for, Pastor, but their price must be paid. The amulet cannot be returned." Desperate, Gideon pleaded, "There must be another way." Mutiman leaned closer, his voice a chilling whisper. "There is one way, but it will cost you everything." Gideon recoiled as Mutiman revealed the price, his own life. To end the curse, Gideon would have to offer himself as a final sacrifice, but Gideon refused and fled, clutching the amulet as if it could protect him that night. Alone in his mansion, the whispers grew louder. Shadows danced on the walls, moving of their own accord. The amulet burned like fire against his chest. Gideon prayed desperately, but it was too late. The spirits had come to collect. The next morning the mansion was empty. Gideon was gone, leaving behind only the cursed amulet. To this day, the people of the village speak of Pastor Gideon. On stormy nights, they say, you can still hear whispers from the ruins of his church, a chilling reminder of what happens when greed blinds a man to the cost of his desires. So what do we learn from Gideon's story? Power is never free. Greed and ambition can lead even the most trusted leaders into destruction. Not everyone who claims to be a servant of God walks in the light, and when something seems too good to be true, it often is. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, share it with others to spread the message. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful and thought-provoking content. Stay vigilant and remember, the truth always comes to light.